Hey everybody, it's Cynthia Porter with Visit Winona, and we are Facebook Live from Winona's very beloved Polish Cultural Institute and Museum. You sent us here for a live look around. This is, I have to say, probably what I think is one of Winona's best kept secrets. If you're Polish, you certainly know about it. If you're a fan of Father Briza, the Catholic priest in Winona, then you probably are aware of this place. Otherwise, there were thousands of Polish people here really right after this city was settled in 1855, and they came from a region primarily of Poland called the Kashubian region. I understand that it looked a lot like this area, and so as they were looking for a new home, as they came across, they found this place to feel very much like home. So they settled here. Unfortunately, a lot of them could not speak English, and so they So let's have a look around. Everything that's here, let's see if I can just show you. Everything that's here has been donated to this place by people who were Winona's Polish ancestors or their families. So look at, there's a wagon on the ceiling. I don't know how they got it up there. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah. Here, I'll give you a big look around the place. I think we're going to go find, I came in here a few minutes ago and I found Father Briza sitting in the back. So I think that we're going to go back there and see if we can talk to him for a minute. But first, I just want to give you kind of the bird's eye view of the whole space. It's pretty big. I mean, for a museum that you've never heard of, there's a lot of space here. So I'm going to turn this camera around and you can take a look at it for a minute. We're going to come back through this area in a minute after we track. Look who's here. Father Briza. Okay, so Father Briza, tell us about, he was, I just want to say that he was admiring all this equipment, which I jokingly told him that I barely understand how to run. So bear with us as we spin around with our selfie stick. But Father Briza is going to tell us a little bit more about the history of this building and his history with the Polish people in Winona.
Wow. Okay. We Polish people came here in the 1870s. A couple of scouts came in the 1850s, and my great-grandfather was in the Civil War, so he was obviously here in the 1860s. Served 2 terms, by the way, and but most of them came in the 1870s. We were a non-existent country in Europe because we were taken over by the Prussians. So anyway, we're here and settled in Winona. They came here. It's the same kind of place as it is in Poland. It's the same kind of trees, same kind of grass, same kind of water, rivers, lakes, whole business.
Does it get this cold?
Oh yeah, not quite as cold, not 30 below, but it gets to 0. And they have the prettiest white snows in the wintertime. Hang on the trees, and the trees over the roads all bend down, so you drive through these snowy tunnels in Poland when it's wintertime. And like I said, it isn't quite as cold, but it's real sticky and romantic, if that's a good word for it. So anyway, they came here. It looked a lot like they needed jobs. We could work here without speaking English, which was a big item.
Right.
We came here with different professions, but you weren't allowed to use them because the language. You couldn't answer the door, answer the phone, work in a store, teach school. So they were stuck. And anyway, we were treated as today's immigrants. We come from only 25 miles in diameter in Poland, around Ugos, Lipusz, Koszalina, Bytów, Wiele, and anyway, those little cities like that are all within 25 miles. We settled here in 25 miles.
Oh.
So we settled here at Winona, Pine Creek, Fountain City, Trempealeau. In that little area, that's where most of the Polish people came to. We would have been only about 20% of the population, but that's out of 12, 15,000 people here at the time. That would have been 3,000 people. And so we all wound up working common labor because of that language problem. And the talents that they had couldn't be practiced unless you're going to do them, at home sort of thing. So we developed into great cooks, good musicians, great thinkers, even though it's hard to express because you only had Polish to do it in. And we settled close to each other as friends so you could support each other and understand each other. And now in 2019, we're obviously growing away from that. So there's probably, I would guess, 50% of the people in Winona have some little bit of Polish blood in their system, even though we started out with being 20% of the total population. There was about 30% of the Winona's population was German. Same thing, they've expanded, they've moved away. And so there's cities away from here that we should belong to or are involved with and have relatives in, and that's why the museum started, because the people that have moved away, some of them lost their parents and grandparents. The name no longer exists in Winona, and so they come back to visit for steamboat days, and when they do, well, where do you go? Mom's house is gone, Grandpa's house is gone. So, but the Polish Museum is here, and they'll come to visit us. And we'll look up their name in the directories. We can do it for genealogies, and they just come. Mostly have sometimes 2-3 hours at a crack, just to visit and talk about the old days and what Winona was like, and we have a good time with it. So.
And so a lot of the things you have here have been donated to you by those families.
Yeah, donated or thrown out.
Oh.
Well, like books, we have an extensive library,
Yeah,
but who speaks Polish? Who reads Polish?
right.
So 5 generations later, that's a little difficult. And so cleaning attics, I would find books. People would call me to say, if you get here before 3 o'clock, the garbage man will come at 3. If you're here before that, we threw the books in the barrel in the alley.
Oh.
So if you want them, come and dig them out. And as a result, we have 7 or 8 books that are in existence only in 2 or 3 other places in the world. There's 4 books in this little library that exist no place else but here.
Wow.
We're the only place in the world where these books exist, and which makes it kind of fascinating. And so people, like I said, come and visit. We're always open. We're free. We're talking about charging admission someday. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
What are your hours?
10 to 3 every day except Sunday.
There you go. 10 to 3 every day except Sunday. We're gonna go look at some of this treasure trove of stuff around here. Father Briza, thank you so much for the
you're welcome.
overview, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Good shot.
Bye. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna go back this way a little bit. Hang on. Look at these beautiful outfits in here. Oh my gosh. So I saw people wearing outfits that looked a lot like that at the Apple Festival, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but I believe it's the first weekend in October, and it's fantastic. The Polish Museum has got this building, and then there's another building next door called the Annex. The Annex has got a beautiful mural, by the way, that stretches all the way around the ceiling of the room, and it talks about the history of the Kashubian Winonas and also the Kashubian region in Poland. It's interesting. Even for me, I am not Polish, but I have to say that I wrote a story for the newspaper when they were installing that mural, and it was pretty interesting. Okay, so more stuff. Here we go. Let's have a look. All over the walls in here, I couldn't possibly show you everything, but there's so much art. I mean, it's obvious to me that the people of Poland were tremendous artisans. And also wood carvers. Look at this. Winona has a relationship right now with the city of Bytom. It is one of our sister cities. Oh, look at these, you guys. Ah. They're just beautiful. I'm just reading the if I look like I'm in a daze, it's because I'm reading the comments that are coming in. Hey, Leanne Becker. Speaking of Bytom, so groups have gone there and made a relationship with people who live in that city. A lot of their ancestors are the same, actually. People who came here and people who stayed there are related to each other, and so they've done some exchanges where they are sending students, and we've sent students there, and kind of renewed those relationships and kept them alive. I read about this. These are all prayer books, little teeny tiny prayer books. And the reason that there's so many is because for a lot of people who came across the ocean, it was the only thing they had. They couldn't bring their belongings, but they were very devout people. So to them, having a prayer book with them was very important. Look at these. Look at all of them. Pretty sure they're all in Polish, or I'd show you what they say. There are lots of books in here, lots and lots of books. There's also a lot of things about their folklore. So back to that Apple Festival, though, if you have the chance ever to come, you need to do that, because there are dancers, there are artisans, and there's also, let's see, where are we going here? There's also a whole lot of food. They set up kind of this buffet, and it was all kinds of Polish recipes, and I'd never really had food like that before, and it was unbelievably good. I mean, just delicious, and a lot with apples. I stopped here because these are all medals that people shared with the museum that were earned by Polish people. It looks like a lot of them are from Poland. Some of them look like they're also from the United States. Okay, we're going back into the other part of the museum now. I can tell you also, I know there was a little bit of a strange history with our Polish past. There was some disagreement between groups of them, and at one point we had two different Polish societies in Winona. That one was called the Polish Heritage Organization, and one was the Polish Cultural Museum, or something to that effect. And no one really seems to understand what the division was, but the good news is that they have reconciled, and I think it's been quite a few years now that the two organizations just cast off whatever it was that was between them, and they joined together. Look at all these pictures of people who are among the first settlers here. Ooh, I see a question. Will you be able to show the mural in the annex? I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask that question. Okay, let's look over here. How am I doing with the selfie stick, you guys? I feel I'm making myself a little bit dizzy. So this is a bridal gown. Wow. Hang on. There we go. Nice. And I think, well, it's not the dress, but it sure looks a lot like it. But look at these. Oh my gosh. Those are paper cutouts. They're just beautiful. Oh my gosh, there's a whole thing of them. Look. And little people. I don't know what those are. Beautiful stuff, you guys. And it's free to come in here. I mean, honestly. So here's the thing. Oh, hang on. This will be fun. Polish wedding portraits. Wait for it. Oh, look at this. It's a whole book. Oh, my phone doesn't like it that I just did that. It's a whole book full of portraits of people's weddings that have been saved here. So here's another thing that I know about this museum. There's not really something quite like it anywhere else in the Midwest. I think that Chicago has something smaller than this. Like, look at this incredible pottery. And so I know that there are groups from around the Midwest who will make pilgrimage and come here and spend some time soaking in this incredible history. I don't know what this is. I wish Father Briza was walking with us, because I would ask him what this guy is about. I'll give you a closer look. Seriously, what is that? I'm scared by it. I don't know where they got it. but it's weird. Okay, I saw a room here. Hang on, it's dark. Let me see if I can turn the lights on. Yep. All right, wait. This is a room. I don't know what it's used for. Obviously some kind of presentation, but look at the dolls in here. I know some people are afraid of these old dolls because they kind of like they made too many scary movies that featured creepy old dolls, but these are beautiful. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry, but hang on a second. Where is it? Where is it? That one? Not that one. How would you like to be a little kid in that doll? So can't you? Just kidding. Some of these dolls are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to walk back. Oh, look at this. On the second floor of this museum is all up there too. It's just quite beautiful. Look at this gift shop, by the way, for any of you Polish people or non-Polish people who love beautiful stuff. So have a look here. You can buy things from Poland in this gift shop. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So we're going to have, Visit Winona has got kind of a running tabulation of places that people don't really think about to buy gifts, beautiful, unique items. And I don't know if this one is on the list, but we're going to make sure it is, because how beautiful. How beautiful. Okay, every day until 3 o'clock this place is open. I think, oh, it looks like they're in a meeting. Okay, so I'm sorry, Leanne. Okay, Leanne Becker, who happens to be something of an expert on this Polish history, just told me that that is a Teutonic Knight, that outfit that we were looking at. And so I'm going to have to read more about what Teutonic Knights are about. So we're not going to be able to make it into the annex today, but what we're doing is going wherever you send us. So here's the opportunity to have the annex be another place that we go. Every week we ask you, where should we go? And then whatever wins, that's where we go. We're taking a live look today at the Polish Museum, Cultural Institute and Museum. And we've been just all over the place. We're having a blast doing it. We've been ice skating, unfortunately, because I can't ice skate, and to the top of Sugarloaf. And we've been in our banks and looking at stained glass, and in our downtown looking at store windows. There is so much left for us to see here, though. Really, it is a town that's filled with great little spots like this. This is a perfect way to spend a day where it's 6 degrees below zero outside. And I think that we have a lot of other places that are very similar in just the amount of interest that they offer. Send us there. Tell us, what do you want to see? We'll go give it a live look, and we're just going to keep doing it until we run out of places, which means probably forever, because I can't imagine that we will. So tell us in the comments, where should we go? What do you want to see next? I'm Cynthia Porter. Thank you so much for coming along with us on this journey, and thank you so much for sending me somewhere inside today, because that the camera would have been dead 12 minutes ago if this was an outside thing. So let us know where we're going to go. You can leave your nominations in the comments, and then the top things that are recommended are going to go up in a poll starting at the beginning of the week. You can come back and you can vote and keep tabs. Then towards the end of the week, we set up the time, and we go show up and go somewhere live. So thank you so much, and everybody have a great week. Bye. Trying to shut the camera off. I can't.